We both have kids. We have a coworker who's going through treatment with her son right now, and I think it just hits really close to home. I mean, it's an honor to be asked to participate in this.
Yeah, I mean, any kid's cause, it speaks to our hearts. So it's really a privilege for us to be here for this today.
You guys both grew up in New England.
Yeah.
What it's like for you to be on TV in the market you grew up in?
This was always my dream, to
What
be
she
able
said.
to bring the news and the information to people in our own community. I mean, it's an honor to be able to do that, and it's, important work for you when you're forecasting storms, and for me with traffic or news. It's just, it's a privilege to be able to do that for our friends and families.
Yeah, like how cool is it that we grew up watching Boston News and we're on it? I think for both of us, this was always the dream. So
Yeah.
now that we're doing it, it feels like it's all come full circle. And at the end of the day, our goal is just to keep people safe and prepared and make sure
And
they get out the
informed,
door. Yeah, and we're doing that not just for viewers, but for friends and family
Yep.
as well. So
Yeah.
check, check, check.
Early morning shift. I mean, I was in the news business as a sports guy, so I didn't have to wake up for that early morning shift. What time does your alarm clock go off in the morning?
Go ahead, you start.
Like 12:45, unless there's a storm. If we have to drive in the snow, that alarm might even be going
yeah.
off at midnight.
Yeah, no, 1:15 for me. And lots of coffee, pumpkin spice, peppermint mocha, lots of coffee.
I love it. I love it. Is it tough, though, having to do the early morning shift?
So for a lot of people that are on the outside looking in at the schedule that we have, it seems like it's hard, but I think that we are a creature of routine. So we both have a super early bedtime. I mean, my kids tucked me in when they were growing up, and then my husband would tuck them in. But as long as you stick to the routine,
Yep.
it's doable,
Yeah.
survivable.
You have to be kind of regimented and disciplined, and it is unusual to go to bed before your very young children, in my case, but it works, so we're kind of used to it by now.
I love it. What's your typical workday like? You guys get into the office, and I know all the different things you have to do just to get ready for that broadcast.
Well, I mean, it might start off one way, and then it could take a totally different turn. With traffic especially, it starts off calm, and then who knows what's going to happen. And for Shiri, I mean, you're busy right from the get-go.
Yeah, I would almost say it's the opposite because I have to come in and do a forecast. So the front of my day is really heavy loaded, and then as I get into the routine, I feel like I get more breaks during the day unless there's a storm.
Yep.
Storms, everything goes out the window. That's when we are truly coworkers that work together because, I mean, what messes up a commute more than a snowstorm?
Absolutely. Is there a day you can remember, a really memorable day for your entire career that really sticks out?
For me, it was we had 2 blizzards that I remember where they shut down the roads completely.
Travel ban, yeah.
Yeah, the travel bans were really big deals, but it was also a really proud moment where I felt like government, media, public all work together. And those are kind of the moments where it might be the worst weather outside, but I feel like we're offering the best service to the public. I think it was 2015 and maybe
2013 too was a tough year.
13 maybe? Yeah.
There's so many winters where it was just so busy out there. Yeah, those were big. For me, I think the story unfortunately that sticks out the most was just the marathon bombings because it was so just tragic and a tough time for our community. And it was so important, again, to work hand in hand with government officials in our communities to keep everybody safe and get the information out because it was changing so rapidly. So that was, I think, the week that will always stick out in my mind.
Yeah, that was a week unlike any other news week.
So
it was very
odd,
Yeah.
What is it like to come to events like this where people know who you are? You guys are celebrities.
So I never expect anybody to recognize me or know who I am. So it's just, for me, I just like to come and meet everybody because, it's just such a nice thing to do, to be able to meet different people and talk to them and hear their stories.
It's humbling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's humbling. I don't think either of us go in with that expectation that people are oh, it's so-and-so. But it is, we have a lot of gratitude if that happens. And then it's all about just putting our best foot forward so people know we're exactly how we seem at work.
Yeah.
And my last question actually is, what advice would you have for any young people who want to get involved with television, with news, with forecasting, anything that you would offer?
Are you sure? No, I'm just kidding. It's like we just said, you are a slave to the schedule. It is a very fulfilling job, and you make some lifelong friendships, but it is not a job where you get endless vacation or you get to simply call out if you don't feel good in the morning. I mean, you have to be ready to work your butt off.
Yeah, you're going to miss holidays, and you might be far from home for the few years or maybe more than a few years, and so you have to be prepared to kind of be part of a team and really be a big team player and also make some sacrifices along the way. You're going to miss family occasions and things like that, but in the end it is extremely gratifying. I mean, we have a lot of gratitude because of what we do, and I keep saying it's a privilege, but I really do mean that,
It is. And one more thing too, you have to be flexible because the media industry, everything is changing so quickly. And I feel like the pace that it's changing has accelerated.
Yeah.
So it's not just media. You've got to be ready for social media. You've got to be ready for so much more than just traditional, newscast at 5 p.m. That's not how it is anymore.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I just wanted to ask if there's anything else that you want to mention about being here in Needham, being here for this event.
I'm really excited to be here and be part of this event, but I'm also really excited to do it with Catherine. It's really fun to extend our day by a couple of hours because we do have good chemistry and we do have so many talks off camera as well. And kids and family are really the core of what is most important to us. So I don't think we could pick something better to do with our afternoon.
Yeah, we're weathering traffic together, on screen and off.
Every 10 minutes or more.
We come as a pair, so we're really glad to be doing this, and we really hope that it accomplishes a lot of good.